Hi everybody, how are you? I'm Javi. Today I'm going to try to teach you one of the most difficult things that you can learn about drawing, and it's also one of the first ones that you have to learn. That is the human figure.
Like the whole human figure.
I'm not going to go into much detail about muscles and joints and how the body works, but I'm still going to try to get the best tutorials so you can see how the general shape of the human figure is like. So, well, let's begin. The first thing that you should know is that all the links to all the tutorials are going to be on the link below. I'm going to put just one link on the video so you don't have to go back and back again to the video to watch it, and you can have it all in a blog post that is going to show you the tutorials, tell you what they're important so you don't have to watch the video again
And listen to my annoying voice.
and also so you can just save the page if you find it interesting and never go back to the video and just have a text summary of everything that I'm going to tell you today. So let's begin. The first tutorial that I'm going to show you today is by Pascal De Jong. He has some tutorials on DeviantArt. They're pretty useful. And this one in particular that I'm going to show you is important because it talks about proportions of the human figure, some of, an introduction to the proportions of the human figure, and also how to generally pose a standing human figure. It's not just a straight line, it's more like a wavy line, and this tutorial goes into that detail. Adding to that previous tutorial is this one by Nero. It talks about the proportions of the female body, and it shows a lot of poses and a lot of turnarounds so you can see the relations of each part of the body. It shows some examples of how the human figure fits in perspective and some other stuff. It's a very good example of reference for the female body. You should just check it out, it's really good. When you try to draw the human figure, before you go into all the detail of the muscles and the weight and the form, you just work with some basic general geometric shapes so you can fit that human figure into a perspective, so you can put them in a space.
That's pretty important.
And this tutorial that I found, even though the drawings are pretty crappy, the tutorial is pretty useful and is really well explained about why it is important to know how to place the human figure in a volume and in perspective. This one is done by Gene Kelly. Now, this Gene Kelly, also has another tutorial that is pretty useful. This is about the torso and how the muscles move when we do certain movements. You know how the chest compresses when you move your arm and stuff like that? Well, there's this tutorial that I found that is pretty useful. It's pretty good. It is very well explained, and you can just use that so you can start learning how the muscles on the torso move. Next, I have this one. This is one of my favorites and is really well drawn. And this is by Nemo Filipovic. This one is about the leg, mainly the thigh. This one goes more into detail about the muscles that comprise the leg and how they move and the shapes they make. And honestly, I find that it's fantastic. It is really well drawn, really well explained. Now, Nemo also has a tutorial similar to the one of the leg, but with arms. And it is also pretty good because it works the muscles of the arm in very basic shapes, that you understand the muscles that are on the arm. It doesn't go into very complicated detail about how to draw it. And I think that is a pretty good first step if you want to learn how to draw arms. It teaches you how the biceps muscle just compresses when you're flexing it, or well, at least normal humans that go to the gym and not me. And honestly, it's pretty good, check it out. The last tutorial I want to show you today, it is actually one of the best that I could find about the human figure. It is a really famous one. If you ever look for human figure tutorials, you're probably going to find this one. This is by Warren Liu, and he made this for Imagine FX magazine. And honestly, it's awesome. It's called Strike a Pose. It shows you how to pose a human figure and you know, the shapes of a pose and how to use the action line. That is something that I'm going to explain later. It shows you the basics of how the human figure moves when it poses. What's good about this tutorial is that it also includes all the other aspects of all the other tutorials that I was telling you about, especially the part of the placing the human figure in perspective. On the link below, you're going to find links to the tutorials, to the artists' pages, so you can see the stuff that they do. They're really good artists and I really like what they do. Also, what you're going to find is a link to a Pinterest group where I put all of these tutorials together and other resources. Also on Pinterest, you're going to find an open group where you can share the tutorials that you find that you think that they're also useful, so you can put them all together in a group and share it with other people, and we can all make this big group with really good tutorials. You can even upload tutorials that you've made if you think that they're useful. So, I hope you enjoyed this. The next video that you're going to see on this channel is a video of me using these tutorials that I found, trying to get better at drawing and, you know, failing and trying to learn something new so I can share it with you, and seeing if I can find anything else that I think that it might be useful. If you like what you saw, like, subscribe, and there's going to be a lot of more content coming here. I'm really excited about doing this, even though you might not notice because I'm a bit nervous, but trust me, I'm excited.
Not in that way though.
So I'll see you on the next video. If I forgot to say something because I'm pretty nervous, I'm going to put a big sign here, I guess. So that's it for today. I'm Kavi, I can draw. See you on the next video.